We're at Star Trek Las Vegas, and I have Michael Dorn with me, who, of course, is known as Worf. Now, on your onstage panel, you talked about how you wrote a movie about Maria Callas, and you're hoping Marina will star in it. Can you tell us just a little bit about that project?
Yeah, it's a project that we came up with. I always wanted to work with Marina, and we sat down one day and talked about several things, and Callas was the one that we loved. But it dealt with not her whole life, but her life when she met Aristotle Onassis until he dumped her. And those are the years.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting because she was kind of like the Madonna of her time. I mean, she was on top of the world. Huge, huge, huge. And when she met Aristotle, she was married at the time, and she gave it all up.
Yeah.
She wanted to be a wife and a mother to this guy, and it's just very interesting.
It'll be an angle we haven't seen as much.
Well, you know what? It's actually an angle that you see a lot more, which is it's like a delusional thing where he wasn't a nice guy. He was charming and he was one of the wealthiest guys, but he wasn't a nice guy. But she convinced herself that he was, and she gave it all up and never married again, and kind of waited for him, and it never happened. It was kind of unrequited love.
Now, you were talking about how the Next Gen cast was just such a fun group to work with, very loud, lots of singers, comedians. And then Brent crashes your on-stage appearance. What was that like?
Well, I think the same. You got an idea of what it was like. I mean, and because they're genuinely funny. I mean, not just everybody goes out there and tries to be funny. I mean, they were genuinely funny from Patrick on down, or Patrick on up.
Yeah.
As I like to think. And so that's what it was. I mean, you got a little taste of it there.
Yeah.
But and I've never worked with another group like that. I mean, my first series was Chips, and they were all good and funny guys, but nothing like this.
Yeah, you guys have a good chemistry. Now, how do you approach playing Worf over the course of all these different Star Trek incarnations? I mean, do you do anything to sort of change it up, make them different, or is it just the writers?
Every year, they do something different with the makeup. That's the number one thing. They basically, Mike Westmore, not because of me, but he just changed something different with the makeup. Yeah, very subtle. My thing was from the very beginning was I wanted him to grow, and the growth that I discovered was the idea of him coming from being a very angry guy and very nationalistic and very egotistical about his people, to understanding that his people aren't exactly as honorable as you may think, and also coming from a point where they felt that human beings were kind of weak and weren't up to. He discovered that they have a lot of great qualities, and they're not weak, and they are very strong. And so he took, what I did was I took a little bit from each race, and I would inject that into the character for that year. And as you saw, I mean, the writers picked up on it very well.
Oh, yeah.
I was very fortunate that I didn't have to go up there and kick and scream about scripts.
Getting more to do.
No. I mean, I know that you got 7 characters, and so you're not going to get something every week.
Not every episode, yeah.
But the stuff I got was excellent. Yeah.
So where do you think your love of aviation stems from?
I don't know. None of my family is not into aviation. Nobody that I know really was into it. But I think what happened is that once I had this one airplane that had a bubble canopy, and you fly and you could just kind of look up,
see everything.
And I've always felt sort of, I don't know, close to nature up there, close to God or something, but I don't know where that came from. I mean, nobody understood it. My whole family was going, "What is he doing? He's out there flying again," So, I'm Michael Dorn, and you're watching Creation TV.